Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Argon. So I've done a bit of testing with, let's say, the Golden Goat, and the way it gives the Forte as its augmentation stat, you can see we can get our Forte rating capped out and Forte up to like 78%. I'm sure you can find some other sources, like even using the Cunning Mimic, to get that pushed to 90%. But is it actually worth it on a healer? Because you can see the Forte stat says it gives Divinity Regeneration. So technically when we have 78% Forte, we should have half of that in Divinity Regen, meaning our Divinity should regenerate about 39% faster just by having the Forte stat racked up. Previously, you'd have about a 25% increase when, let's say, we use some other companion, like using the Golden Boulette, and now we have our Forte around 54%. So we've lost about 23.5% Forte or so by switching out also the Golden Goat's bonus, and we're using like a Black Dragon's Instincts. With that difference in Forte, how much divinity gain do you actually get? The way I test out divinity gain is by summoning this illusion. He'll hit me, I basically use my powers and drain all of my divinity, and once I've done so, I go and use my tab power and then start my stopwatch. And then you just hover your mouse over your divinity gauge and that'll slowly fill up, and then of course you stop your stopwatch whenever that's on 1000, when it's full, and that way you can see the exact amount of time it takes you to go from no divinity to full divinity. And then we measure the difference between using a Golden Boulette just for outgoing healing and using a Golden Goat for the extra Forte, for that Divinity Regen that it says there. Now, unfortunately, through my testing, I found that about 5% Forte will only reduce your Divinity Regen by about 1 second. And considering that this Divinity bar fills up in about 80 seconds when you don't use any other buffs to regenerate it quicker. And on the Paladin, we have quite a amount of sources which can give us more Divinity Regen. And I will go over those in another video. I'm still doing a bit more testing on those to get the exact times, to find out which powers and features we should be using, which companions should we focus on Forte or not, and so on. And I'm working on optimizing my healer build with this new enchantment change, and also then figuring out what's the best to be using within the new trial. Still gotta run it a bunch more and make sure I optimize my build, and then I'll go over it with you guys in a dedicated video where I'll explain through all my choices, etc. So right now, from my testing, the Golden Goat is not worth it to stack Forte to gain more Divinity Regen. Again, it's only about 1 second you shave off for every 5% Forte, and without something like the Golden Goat, you're still running over 50% Forte just by having all of the other gear pieces that naturally give you some Forte here and there, for example a Garnet enchantment as well. And so with that said, again, just not worth to stack Forte. Again, I did another test stacking pretty much all of the bonuses for giving me extra Divinity Regen, and I was only shaving off about 3 seconds from going from 0 Divinity to full. That again is nothing when you're talking about 40 plus seconds to get from 0 to full. So again, hopefully this was somewhat insightful to you healers out there, just to make sure, yeah, don't go stacking Forte for the Divinity Regen. The benefit is so minimal. So I've presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.